What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something interesting. So grab some popcorn, start some chores. This is going to be a long video. If you have ever been a part of Orangetheory Fitness, you know that it's unique. The energy is pretty intense and some people love it. Some people think it's a cult. And there is a reason why a lot of people do end up loving Orangetheory Fitness and it's kind of looked at as a cult. So we're gonna get into that today, as well as the cancellation policy situation, things like that. Before we start, I just wanna say I loved my time at Orangetheory Fitness, working there, being a member, and this video has nothing to do with trying to bash them at all. All right, so let's talk about this whole cult thing. Because honestly, I get why people say it. Orangetheory is a community full of really dedicated people. And once you're in, you get into it. Like they say, drinking the Kool-Aid. I was fully on that Kool-Aid for like 5 years, 4 years straight. It's almost like you have your own language because, you know, there's ESP, splat points, all out. There's just all of this lingo. So it sounds like you're in this exclusive club, just like speaking your own language. And honestly, it's just part of the fun. It's what makes Orangetheory Fitness so engaging, is that it's just like more than a workout. And let's be real, the accountability is next level. There's something about signing up for a class and just knowing that, you know, the coach probably saw your name pop up on the list and now you don't want to skip it. You build these relationships with the coaches because a lot of times there's only like 4 main coaches at a studio. And I think that because there is a limited amount of coaches and a lot of them tend to teach the same times, you're able to build that connection and then it makes it a lot more of a personal experience. If you've ever been a part of Orangetheory Fitness, then you get what I'm saying. It's good though, because I feel like that's part of what keeps people so consistent. But I will say it's a little intense in times with the FOMO. They do a decent job of kind of creating that, in my opinion, especially with like all the stats and wanting to keep hitting those class milestones, like your 20 classes, 50 classes, 100 classes, 500 classes, 1,000 classes. Like you want to keep going. It's really fun. But like, yeah, I feel like that's one of the many reasons why people stay so dedicated and it ends up becoming part of your lifestyle. Okay, so let's talk about one of the biggest surprises people run into with the membership cancellation policy. No, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that catches people off guard. If you decide to cancel, you need to give a 30-day cancellation notice, which means you are going to get charged for 1 more entire month of your membership. So if you want to cancel your membership in March, you should tell them in January. And if you don't want to cancel, but you do need a break, you're able to freeze your membership. I think there's a small fee with that. I'm not sure. And there's a limit, like you might only be able to freeze for 2 months, like maybe something like that. I don't really know. But you can ask your front desk people about that if that's something you wanted to do. But this lets you pause without completely leaving, and it can be super helpful if you know you're gonna be traveling a lot 1 month or you get injured or something like that. When I was working there, a lot of members typically would use a freeze for one of those 2 reasons. But you know what? You can use your last month wisely. You can soak up those last classes, get them all in, go all out. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit more behind the scenes of what it's like to work at Orangetheory Fitness. First off, being a coach is more than just leading a class. I never personally did it, but these coaches have to be on every single class. They have to have high energy, they have to be memorizing names, they have to be correcting form, and making sure everyone in the class feels like it's a personal experience at all times. That's not even probably everything. And let's not forget about the front desk staff. They're the real MVPs, hyping you up, making sure you're not forgetting your heart rate monitor, making sure your heart rate monitor is working, helping you with that, signing you in, all of that fun stuff. I did work at the front desk, and part of their job is to be high energy, hype people up. When people walk into that studio, they want to feel the energy, and that just can't happen unless the staff is acting that way. And I've been to a lot of Orangetheory Fitness studios, and I will say that is one thing that, like, you can't just make someone have high energy. It's something that they need to have when they're being interviewed. Like, they need to present that quality in the interview. The Orangetheory Fitnesses that have that energetic staff that is so nice to all the members because they literally know that it's their job. Like, they don't even care if they don't want to be nice or they're having a bad day. They're going to be nice and high energy because it's literally in the job description. But here's the thing, working at Orangetheory Fitness means bringing the energy all the time. Like, imagine walking into the studio at 5 a.m. sluggish for your class. But imagine then being the people that have to hype it up. Like Orangetheory Fitness studios rely on the energy of the staff. I truly believe that. But for people who work at Orangetheory Fitness, I think they find it very rewarding because it's such an awesome community to be a part of. And it is set up in a way where you see a lot of PRs and people progress. And that's like one of the most amazing things. There's a lot of beginner level fitness people that do come to Orangetheory Fitness and then they see it through and they stick with it for years and years and years, and they have so much success, whether it be their fitness transformation, physical transformation, mental transformation, and just being a member, going to classes all the time for like 5 years. Even I witnessed that stuff, and I just think that it's a very rewarding type of job. Like, it's probably a great feeling to help people. One of the coolest things about Orangetheory Fitness is their heart rate based training that they do with the heart rate monitors. But people can be kind of competitive. When you're looking at the screen, looking at everyone's heart rate, it's hard not to like compare, especially if you're taking class with the same groups of people. Sometimes the coaches will call out people's names and then they will react, and then you're able to know who's who. And then like you can like look at people's charts. But like, who's doing that? It sounds like I was doing that, but it wasn't something I was doing. It's just something you can do if you're interested. You just have to remember that it isn't a competition, and what really matters is how your workout is. Just focus on yourself. I also always say like focus on how you feel and not the numbers. Some days you're gonna be like a rock star on the treadmill or the rower, and then other days it's gonna feel so hard. Some days it's just about showing up, and like that is the win. Okay, so let's talk about one of the things that makes Orangetheory Fitness so different from all the other workouts, which is the infamous afterburn effect. Orangetheory is based on EPOC training, which is excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, which basically means your body keeps burning calories after you stop working out. That's what they claim, the afterburn effect. The thought of your body still burning excess calories after you're done working out sounds amazing, right? It also sounds a little bit too good to be true. So here's the catch. Not everyone experiences the afterburn effect the same way. Some people burn a ton of extra calories after class, while for some people it is really not that drastic. I think it really depends on how hard you pushed yourself in that class and also what your body is conditioned to. It also depends on your metabolism, but like, you're not just sitting on the couch torching calories all day, okay? So some people might think that really is the case and that's what the afterburn effect is, but it's not that intense. With that being said, one of the benefits with Orangetheory Fitness is building consistency, and it's not always all about the afterburn effect, it's just about showing up. Right, Coco? The more you show up, the stronger you'll get over time. Coco, do you want to take an Orangetheory Fitness class? One thing that doesn't get talked about enough is how social Orangetheory Fitness is. For some people, this is like their social hour of the day. Like sometimes they have to get told to stop talking, like on the treadmill, because you really aren't supposed to be talking in class. But yeah, it's funny to like see some friendships begin from Orangetheory. And let's talk about the themed classes. I love how Orangetheory Fitness does that. Whether it's like Throwback Thursday, a DJ party night, or like a dress up type of thing, they always try to keep it interesting. But yeah, if you're someone who struggles to stay consistent or motivated, having this social aspect is a huge game changer. I'm not gonna lie. Like even when I was doing this place called Prime Intensity Training, you know, I felt like there was a huge community that I was attached to, and part of the reason why I enjoyed showing up to the classes. All right, let's talk about the benchmark workouts. If you've ever done Orangetheory Fitness, you know how big of a deal these are. Benchmarks are those workouts where you test yourself, like how far you can run, how far you can row, how many like reps you can do in like a strength portion. They just have all these different benchmarks. Part of it is to be able to test yourself and measure your progress, because your first time doing a benchmark row might look a lot different than your second time doing a benchmark row. And it's just something to go off of and help you gauge your progress. But yeah, they're really designed for people to test themselves, and like honestly, they can be a little bit stressful because it only happens like a handful of times throughout the year. So you want to like show up and show out when it's time. Some people thrive on those challenges and other people put like way too much pressure on themselves. But you have to remember that progress isn't linear and it's just data, and it'll just like help you make the correct changes or improvements that you need. Some days you might PR and other days you might feel off, but the important thing is that you just keep showing up. Like whether you're setting records or just getting through it, benchmarks are just tools. Okay, let's talk about some myths about Orangetheory Fitness. The first myth that I want to debunk is that you have to run on the treadmill. That is not true. You can walk, and some studios even have a bicycle or ellipticals, something called a strider. I don't know if that's the same as an elliptical, but either way, if you're like injured or pregnant, you can even go on one of those. Or like if someone else is just like simply not using it during the class, it is only a limited number. Like some studios have like 2 bikes and 2 striders and then 12 treadmills, but yeah, you can walk. You do not have to run. And also you can still have an amazing workout, even if you don't run. Second myth is that Orangetheory Fitness is only for super fit people. That is not the case. The age range is wild in there. Like there is no specific demographic. Like, you know, if you go to Pilates, like, you know, a lot of times it's just like women. That's just like not the case. This is, you see everybody at Orangetheory and it's like meant for everybody. Come here, Coco. And third myth is if you didn't get 12 splat points, then the workout didn't really count. That's really not the case. That's not true. Sometimes heart rate monitors aren't even accurate half the time. I still like to go off of them, like, and tell myself that they are accurate. One of the best things about Orangetheory Fitness is that it teaches you about fitness without you even realizing it. Like, I swear I learned so much from being at Orangetheory Fitness for like 5 years of my life. Like so much correct form, so many different exercises. It was seriously such an amazing learning experience, which I truly felt was like one of the reasons why I would like justify the cost of it. Like I would say like, I feel like I'm learning so much. It also helped me mentally. Like I always say that my running mental strength was not that strong until I went to Orangetheory Fitness. Like I would feel like running for 5 minutes was just like excruciating and so difficult. And if you take Orangetheory Fitness classes, you know, like you run for like 25 minutes straight in a class sometimes. And sometimes it's like 2 miles. And you know, I played sports all my life and did a lot of running, but sometimes like when you're playing sports like soccer, lacrosse, field hockey, the running is not always consistent. You're not like running for like 20 minutes straight, no breaks. Like you're running here, running there. Like there are little breaks here and there. So Orangetheory Fitness definitely got me stronger and taught me how to push myself. And like, I do miss it. If you guys watch my video about why I stopped going, like, you know why I stopped. I want to get back to it one day. Like honestly, talking about it so much makes me miss it. I really feel like it's in my future. Another thing is Orangetheory Fitness proves that working out can be fun. I feel like a lot of times people typically dread working out, but that is never the case with Orangetheory. It is a really fun environment. The music is so good. It's like top tier. It's just like a really fun and engaging, exciting environment, like more than just a workout. Okay, so let's talk about the psychology behind the different heart rate zones, because I really do think that's part of the reasons why Orangetheory works so well. Like, it's kind of like a little game, watching your chart, your little block on the screen while you're working out change colors. You know, you're always striving to get those 12 points. If your heart rate monitor stops working, you're gonna go talk to the front desk person, unless you are a seasoned worker-outer and it just doesn't faze you. But like, otherwise, like, people really care about their charts. But yeah, it's such a unique experience, seeing your name on that screen, trying to hit that orange, red, green zone. And like, it's why Orangetheory has that screen there, because it's like a motivator. It's like a little game, you know what I mean? It gives people something to like chase after. Orangetheory is designed to make you push harder without you even realizing it. But here's the interesting part. Not everyone needs to be in the orange and red zone the whole time to have a killer workout. Some people get their best results by staying in the green zone, but because we feel like we need to get those splat points, hit those numbers, it keeps people engaged. And like, honestly, like it's a really good system that they have going on. I feel like Orangetheory really changed the way group fitness works. Like there was only spin, yoga, Pilates, boot camp type exercises before Orangetheory brought in this like data-driven, science-backed workout. It really made people feel like their workouts were measured, and it was just something different that no other gyms were providing. I mean, think about it. Other studios now have these hybrid strength cardio workouts with these monitors and screens that really didn't exist before Orangetheory. But it's pretty cool to think about how they really did change the way people kind of approach working out. People think like, they don't just think like, did I get a good sweat in anymore? They kind of look at the data and they want to know like, what was my effort? Okay, so here's a juicy one. Why do most people end up leaving Orangetheory? Now let me just say, most people who do leave Orangetheory still love it, but there are some common reasons why people leave, in my opinion. So let's get into it. First is the cost. Orangetheory is very expensive, and like, sometimes people just can't justify spending that type of money every single month when you could just go to a regular gym and kind of recreate these workouts, especially if you've been going for years. You like could just recreate the workout, but there are many aspects that you cannot recreate on your own. But cost is definitely probably a big factor as to why people leave, especially if the membership prices go up. Okay, second reason people end up leaving is plateauing. They just kind of start feeling like they are not really seeing the same results that they once did when they first started. And that doesn't mean that Orangetheory doesn't work. It just means that they need to switch it up and try something different for a little bit. A third reason is the schedule. Some people end up not being able to like get out of the house and go to a workout class like that. It's kind of a luxury to have the time to do that. I mean, yes, if you live very close to one, you're like the 1%, like you're just lucky. But if you have to like drive kind of far and it's out of your way, not a lot of people have that extra time in their schedule and they just need to cut to the chase and they just want to get their workout in. And if you have an apartment gym, you might find it a lot easier for you to just walk down the hallway and do a workout there, or even home workouts can be really effective, especially if people have a house and they have a home gym. Cutting out time that it takes to get your exercise in is major, I know, especially for me. And the more things you add into your life. Like when I was a single person and didn't really have a boyfriend at that time, you know, I had all the time in the world to go into an Orangetheory class. But then when you're in a more serious relationship and, you know, now I have a dog, you want to be spending time with, you know, your pets, your people, as much as you possibly can outside of your full-time job. But the cool part is a ton of people actually come back to Orangetheory Fitness eventually after leaving. I've always said that it's not a goodbye, it's a see you later. It's just not for me in this era of my life. I really hope that one day, like when I have a house, it's near Orangetheory and it's something that is not far for me to get to. I would genuinely like that to happen for me, but you know, we'll see what happens. Okay, let's talk about coach popularity because yes, it is a thing. Everybody has those coaches at their studio that people are fighting to get in that class because honestly, the coaches make or break the classes, I'm not gonna lie. And there's definitely some better than others, but I've never met a bad Orangetheory Fitness coach because to get hired, it ain't an easy route. On the flip side, I've seen people just leave studios because their favorite coach left. Maybe they've gone to another Orangetheory studio. And yes, there's definitely some studio drama, whether it's coaches leaving for another gym or like members complaining, members being competitive with one another. I feel like Orangetheory has continued to change so much over the years. Like it is just never staying the same. The simple class workout has definitely evolved and they've added so many things in, whether it's like Hell Week, Mayhem, the special Christmas workouts, the special themed events, benchmarks. Like, there's one thing that I have to say is that, well, there's not one thing. I've been saying a million things about Orangetheory, but they're very good at evolving and keeping it fresh. One of the biggest shifts they've had is how they integrate technology. They're constantly doing something new, like whether it was like adding screens onto the treadmills or they had these like screens on the wall for the coaches to use and for people to like enter their benchmark data into. Back in the day, heart rate monitors weren't that advanced, but like now you can track your data on the app, you can see results in real time, and they've just done such a good job of like incorporating that. I think they even put screens on the rowers. Yes, they did. They've got screens on everything in there. I want to go back so bad. Also, the workouts themselves have changed. There's like more strength, more variety. They even started a strength only class. I don't know how that's been going. Like you guys know, I just haven't been taking classes. Some studios have the strength classes, some of them don't. I didn't like how short the class was. That really pissed me off, but whatever. I really don't understand it, honestly. If someone knows why the strength classes were shorter than the regulars, like please comment below, I would love to know. Yeah, I think why people stick around is because it never really gets stale, so I'm definitely interested to see how Orangetheory has evolved because I do want to get back into it, like I keep saying, so when I get back into it, I'm excited to see like what's different. All right, let's talk about something real. Why do some coaches get treated like celebrities at their location? Like their classes get booked out instantly, they're treated like the Beyonce of their studio. Like the second the schedule drops, people are fighting for a spot in that class. So why does this happen? It's because of their energy. The best coaches know your name, they hype you up, they give you attention, they make you feel special. Those are the coaches that everybody loves. They don't just tell you what to do, they really make you feel like you matter. But yeah, so like here's the secret. Sometimes the most technically skilled and smartest coaches are not the most popular because they just don't have that vibe or connection with the members. Like, if a coach makes you feel seen, you're gonna wanna keep coming back. If you've ever struggled to get into a class because it's always full, I'm gonna try to give you some tips. You can call the front desk or meet with the front desk like before or after your class, and probably after the class, and you can like book a bunch of classes in advance, like super far in advance. And as long as you just cancel within like the 8-hour cancellation, you won't get charged or like have an issue, you know what I mean? Also, if a class is full, keep checking back on your app like right before when that cancellation timeline is, because some people will cancel like right before that. But sometimes there's a wait list. Booking in advance, like as far in advance as possible, is the key. Something that people don't really talk about is that not every single Orangetheory studio is the same. Even though they follow the same programming, each studio has a different vibe depending on like the management, the coaches, the members. I've been to multiple studios and some of them feel super competitive and some of them feel like one big friend group. So Coco, excuse me, I'm trying to educate people about Orangetheory. Ow! Coco, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, is this like something she just discovered, pulling my hair? There's no way. She doesn't normally do this. This is like a new discovery right now, live on camera. Coco! Studios are secretly graded on member retention rate, like how many people stay or cancel their membership, social media engagement, are they getting tagged, reviewed? But let's talk about the heart rate monitors, okay? Ever notice how they really push those? It's because it is a whole other stream of revenue. It is a major stream of revenue for them. They make a huge profit every year by selling these heart rate monitors that are just branded to their name. Studios with higher heart rate monitor sales actually get like corporate perks, more marketing support, and even lower franchise fees just because of heart rate monitor sales. That's wild. It's not just about helping you train smarter, it's about business strategy. Orangetheory uses psychology-based retention tactics to keep you coming back for more. Like, it's not by accident. They have strategically planned this whole thing out. It's carefully designed to keep you coming back for more. The leaderboard and benchmarks trigger like competitive drive, and it makes you feel like you don't want to lose progress. The buddy system encourages people to stop quitting, you know, based on like a social aspect. And the cancellation process is not easy. You usually have to go in person or email them, call them. You can't just simply click cancel. But it's all intentional. They kind of want to make it feel like you can't quit. Okay, here's something very interesting. Did you know that all Orangetheory coaches do not get paid the same? It is based on like a tiered system. Some coaches get paid per class while others get paid an hourly rate. Some coaches even have to work at multiple studios just to make up for inconsistent pay, or they have to double as like a studio manager or work at the front desk. Okay, so here's something really interesting. When a new Orangetheory opens, they offer what's called a founding membership rate. And this is something that you have to purchase technically, I think, before the studio really even opens, or like within a week or two of it opening. I don't know the specific logistics, but I definitely know it's before the studio even opens. But this is the way to lock in the lowest membership rate possible, like at all. You stay at this low rate, and if you never cancel, it just like never goes up. You just stay grandfathered into it. And that's like the best way to get like the lowest rate possible. However, I guess some studios do phase out founding membership rates like without warning. Okay, so let's talk about studio closures. Studios will close for typically, I guess, 2 reasons. And one of them is franchise mismanagement. And then the second one is corporate reallocation. So if the franchise ownership isn't running things correctly, corporate will step in and kind of like take over. And then if there are too many studios in one area, they'll end up closing the weakest one. Even if a studio is popular, it still might close if it is not meeting corporate's franchise standard. Okay, so that's the next thing I want to talk about, is who actually owns these Orangetheory Fitness studios. Some people might think that they're owned by corporate, but the reality is that's not the truth. Most of these are owned by franchise owners, like investors, groups, individuals. So it could be like fitness entrepreneurs, people that are already in the fitness industry, multi-franchise investors, people who might own multiple locations or even like different brands. Okay, so how much does it cost to open an Orangetheory Fitness? If you want to own an Orangetheory Fitness, get ready to spend a lot of money. Okay, so like a rough idea of franchise fees just to get a right to open is like probably $60,000. Now you're gonna need to do a build out and get the equipment. That's gonna cost anywhere from like $500,000 to like $1.5 million probably. To build out the studio, make it exactly what you need. You know, there has to be showers in there. It's not just a random singular room. Okay, so with so many studios, how do different studios stand out? Successful owners will focus on having like a top tier coaching staff, probably people that are high energy specifically. I think that really helps with like more retention, and retention is the goal. Also, strong local marketing, so social media, partnerships, things like that. Okay, so where is Orangetheory headed next? I would have to guess a lot of AI tech integrations. They are all about tech, and AI is all the rage, so that's probably what they're going to be integrating, if I had to say so myself. I also think they're going to expand into international markets because they're pretty well based in the United States. And I actually knew somebody who had like a role where she was going to these new studios that were being created or launched, opened in like different parts of the world. It was pretty cool. And then I guess COVID hit and it like ruined the whole thing, which sucks. But yeah, they're trying to like expand internationally, if I had to guess. I also think that starting a new Orangetheory will just only get more expensive over time. That's just kind of the nature of how everything's going. Okay, so have you ever noticed how your favorite Orangetheory coach just will like suddenly disappear? Well, that could be from a few factors. Coaches can't truly customize the workout. And then also I think there's a high burnout rate. Like I have heard of coaches having crazy, insane schedules where they're coaching just like too many classes a day, or maybe they're coaching the closing classes and then they're coaching the 5 a.m. opening classes, and it's just like, what? It's just like not a good balance, so they get burned out. Some coaches love it and they stick around for a very long time, or they just use it as a stepping stone to a lot of other opportunities. And the studios have to hit certain sales goals every month to avoid pressure from corporate, apparently. The coaches and staff will have different incentives to try to sell heart rate monitors and memberships, and some studios really push hard because like it helps them hit their profit margins. Like it's just what they need to do. So I am gonna wrap up this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.